So this week was our amazing citizens rally against M103. That's the parliamentary motion that calls on the government to ban Islamophobia, but it doesn't define Islamophobia. Does it mean violence against Muslims? Well, that's already covered by the criminal code. Does it mean discrimination against Muslims? Well, that's covered too. You can't fire someone from a job or kick them out of a rental apartment based on their religion. That's illegal. So maybe it means what it looks like it means. Banning criticism of Islam itself. Banning words or even thoughts or feelings about Islam. Given that the motion was drafted by Iqra Khalid, a Muslim Liberal MP who comes from Pakistan, I fear the worst. Because back in Pakistan, where she's from, they have Islamophobia laws on the books. Now, you can't criticize Islam. You can't criticize the Quran. They routinely abuse their Christian minority there. So yeah, Iqra Khalid is bringing the worst of Pakistan to Canada. Here she is recently celebrating Pakistani values at their consulate. My friends, I don't think she's on our side when it comes to separation of mosque and state. Anyways, more than 1,000 people came out to our rally on just 2 days' notice. It was a great mix of people, especially people who know what living under Sharia law is like. Click here to see more about the rally, including some amazing interviews with ordinary folks who showed up, including people who fled Islamic fascism in Iran and Pakistan. Those were amazing little interviews there. But oh boy, did the liberal media hate that rally. They just hated it. They were literally shaking the whole time, just constantly clucking and gasping and muttering, "I can't even." All of the severely normal people at the rally saying and thinking the wrong things about Islam. Well, the journalists, every single journalist I spoke with that night loved Motion M103 and hated the people who were rallying against it. Anyways, great event, huge success. 4 Conservative Party leadership candidates came to address the crowd. Our own Faith Goldy did an amazing job as the MC. But just as the rally was about to end, one of the leftist reporters from a website called Vice tweeted this. She said, "I just saw someone do a Nazi salute." Really? Wow. I mean, I'm Jewish, and there were a ton of Jews there, and a lot of visible minorities. So it's really weird that there would be any Nazis there, and even weirder is that no one else saw this. Oh, except her fellow Vice leftist journalist. So here's another Vice blogger, a Muslim woman in a hijab named Sarah Hagi, and she tweeted, "And we just saw an Aryan salute." Isn't that funny? How the only people who saw the Nazi salute and the Aryan salute were leftist extremists with the same fake news organization called Vice. I mean, there were at least 10 professional cameras there covering the whole event. And 1,000 people with cell phone cameras. And no one saw this Nazi salute. No one saw it. No one caught it on tape. I didn't see it. It's pretty odd, isn't it? It sounds like fake news. Sounds like the lying media couldn't say anything about us that was true, so they just made something up. I mean, I was there the whole time. I did not hear or see this Nazi salute. But then this grainy photo. Zoom in on that photo on the bottom right there. It's sort of grainy, but it looks like someone is holding their hand straight up, right? Well, that's not really how Nazis saluted the Sieg Heil. It's not really what a Sieg Heil looks like, but still, it was damning proof that we really were all a group of secret Nazis, especially me, a Jewish Nazi, and Nazi, proof that we were all evil, and no one should even listen to us or even let us rent a room like that. I mean, wow, that photo, right? So here's the Washington, D.C. correspondent of BuzzFeed, the clickbait fake news site, saying it was proof. We were Nazis. He was in Washington. He wasn't there in Toronto. Here's a sports editor at The Score calling that photo a mic drop moment. So The Score's getting in on this. Here's some loser who writes for the NBA's official website saying, "We have the disease of Nazism at our event." Wow. Here's Jesse Brown, who regards himself as a media critic, a journalist, and he says, "Seems like cameras did catch your boy with a Sieg Heil." So it was unanimous. I guess this was proof that we're all Nazis, and so everyone should ignore us and hate us like the whole media party does. Except it wasn't an Aryan or a Nazi. It wasn't even a white guy, actually. No, that was not a Nazi salute. It just wasn't. Here's another picture taken of that exact same moment, the exact same hand that wasn't so strategically blurry. That photo was taken by Post Media, thank you. It's sort of weird. What's with the three-finger thing? That's not the Sieg Heil Nazi salute. That's something else. Oh, look at that. That's sort of weird. That's that finger thing again. And hang on. That Vice blogger said it was an Aryan thing. Aryan means white. That guy's Chinese. I saw that guy there. He wasn't a Nazi. He's a Chinese guy who was actually wearing a kilt, which is a bit unusual, I'll grant you. But there you go. And it wasn't a Sieg Heil. It was this. It was from a sci-fi movie called The Hunger Games. It's the symbol of resistance to a big thought-controlled government in that story, like the kind of government that might tell you what you can and can't think about Islam. I mean, it's sort of a made-up symbol, sort of a cult classic. I can't even really do that with my fingers, but that's what it looks like. But that ain't Sieg Heil, and he ain't Aryan. And none of what all these reporters said happened actually happened. It was all fake news. They were all lying. Every single left-wing journalist who wrote about this on Wednesday night of the rally, they actually still have their lies up on the internet right now. I just checked. They're all still lying, even though we know the truth. Like I say, most of them weren't even there at the meeting. They all pounced on the first lies from Vice and spread that lie and didn't want to look too closely to see the truth behind the grainy first photograph, because they don't want the truth that more than 1,000 people from all backgrounds, including Chinese sci-fi fans, are against Islamic censorship. The media wants their own lie, that they're good and we're evil and they're tolerant and we're Nazis, although they want to do the censoring. Look, this is just exhibit 220 in my case for the prosecution that you just can't trust the mainstream media. For the Rebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant. Oh, you don't want to miss any of these videos, just click here to subscribe.